Good, happy Wednesday morning. I'm Riley King, and welcome to the Riley King Newscast. Let's get started. First up, New Hampshire Airport may offer affordable flights to Europe. Let's take a listen to this video.
An appointment? Try like 2 weeks.
There has to be an easier way.
Come to Auto Fair Honda, home of the $17.95 oil change.
I don't have an appointment today. Is there any way I can get an oil change?
Of course. We'll have you out of here in 39 minutes or less. Works free.
Servicing your vehicle is fast and easy at Auto Fair Honda. Call or book your appointment online at autofairhonda.com.
Auto Fair makes it happen.
It's still up in the air, but Portsmouth could be clear for takeoff to Europe.
It was not a question if it was going to happen, but when.
According to Airport Operations Manager Andrew Pomeroy, for the past year and a half, negotiations have been underway to bring Norwegian airline shuttle to the Portsmouth International Airport at Pease.
They are Europe's fastest growing airline.
Pomeroy says Norwegian plans to operate out of Stewart International Airport in upstate New York and could choose either Portsmouth or T.F. Green Airport in Rhode Island for its second U.S. base.
They have a lot of interest in the Boston market. And then we've got a number of things here at Portsmouth that make us unique. We've got great highway access. We draw from not just the Boston market and Portsmouth and the seacoast, but we draw from Maine.
Currently, Allegiant Air flies out of Portsmouth to 4 destinations in Florida. Pomeroy says Norwegian could fly from New Hampshire to England, Scotland, Ireland, France, and Norway.
It could be any combination of those.
Norwegian's planes hold up to 180 passengers, and Pomeroy says the airline is talking about the possibility of introductory flights as cheap as $69 one way.
Wow. That's one of the reasons they like Portsmouth, because we're a low-cost airport.
The airline selection could come soon because the U.S. Department of Transportation recently approved its application for service in this country. Pomeroy is excited about the possibilities and what it could mean for the Granite State.
We'll be working with the airline, various federal agencies, and local community to try to make this happen.
Airport leaders say they've been told that a final decision could come down anywhere from a couple of weeks to a couple of months, but they have their fingers crossed. In Portsmouth, Mike Cronin, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that report. Transportation. School officials prepare for another slippery commute today. Let's take a listen to the video.
Without an appointment? Try like 2 weeks.
There has to be an easier way.
Come to Auto Fair Honda, home of the $17.95 oil change.
I don't have an appointment today. Is there any way I can get an oil change?
Of course. We'll have you out of here in 39 minutes or less. Works free.
Servicing your vehicle is fast and easy at Auto Fair Honda. Call or book your appointment online at autofairhonda.com.
Auto Fair makes it happen.
I know parents are frustrated on Monday, first storm.
Monday's nightmare commute still fresh on the minds of many, especially those tasked with deciding whether or not to call for a delayed opening for the schools.
It was a tricky day, as we waited and there wasn't a snowflake in the sky at 6:30, and then by 7:30 it was gridlock. So it was a tough call.
State police responded to roughly 100 crashes, and school districts dealt with bus delays due to slippery conditions. SAU 55 Superintendent Dr. Earl Metzler is keeping a close watch on the forecast, serving Hampstead and Timberlane districts. He prefers to tell parents the night before, if possible.
It's one of those things, you make the decision and then it rains in the morning and it's fine.
DOT crews out today pre-treating with a brine, which creates a surface on the road, so when snow falls, it won't get packed down or turn to ice.
If done appropriately, it'll prevent that hard pack from building, but you still need to follow that up with salt treatments. People need to give themselves plenty of time and space to get to their destinations. Understand that we will be out there, but we can't be everywhere at the same time. Fortunately, in this situation, it looks like it's going to be early in the morning hours, so we'll be able to get out there earlier to address it.
It's a step DOT took on Monday, but the commute was still messy. Metzler says some of their buses got stuck in Derry. He credits their drivers for getting everyone to school safely.
Well, it's not up to them to decide whether or not they're driving. They rely on me and the district to make those decisions, and so we don't want to put them in tough spots either. So they did a great job under conditions that were not ideal on Monday, that's for sure.
And even though we're only expected to get about an inch of snow in some places, the message from schools and the DOT is the same. Leave yourself plenty of time to get to your destination and be patient. We're live in Bedford tonight. Siobhan Lopez, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that report. Frantic rescue underway in Indonesia as quake kills sources. A strong undersea earthquake rocked Indonesia's Aceh Perak early on Wednesday, killing nearly 100 people and sparking a frantic rescue effort in the rubble of dozens of collapsed and damaged buildings. Iowa Governor Branstad is Trump's pick as China ambassador, Bloomberg says. The governor of Iowa, Terry Branstad, has accepted President-elect Donald Trump's offer to be U.S. ambassador to China, Bloomberg reported on Wednesday, citing source. Meet Donald Trump's think tank. Let's take a listen to this video from CNN.
Today at Trump Tower, former Vice President Al Gore sitting down with the president-elect and Ivanka Trump to talk about Gore's signature issue, climate change, something Trump has called a hoax.
The bulk of the time was with President-elect Donald Trump. I found it an extremely interesting conversation and to be continued.
The president-elect also reaching out to a former rival, picking Dr. Ben Carson as Secretary of Housing and Urban Development.
We're excited to have Dr. Carson as our intended nominee for Housing and Urban Development. We're looking forward to another very productive week in the transition that's setting a historic pace.
Carson, a neurosurgeon, lacked significant experience in housing and urban development. During the primary, he criticized housing regulations to address segregation in public housing.
This is what you see in communist countries, where they have so many regulations encircling every aspect of your life that if you don't agree with them, all they have to do is pull the noose. And this is what we've got now.
As one cabinet selection moves forward, another seems to be taking a step back. Trump is now expanding his search for a Secretary of State after narrowing his list to 4 contenders last week. Transition sources now say former Utah governor and ambassador to China John Huntsman is in the mix, as is ExxonMobil CEO Rex Tillerson and West Virginia Democratic Senator Joe Manchin, according to the New York Times. Former CIA Director David Petraeus also still in the running, expressing regret for mishandling classified information.
I apologize for it. I paid a very heavy price for it, and I've learned from it. And again, they'll have to factor that in, and also obviously 38 and a half years of otherwise fairly, in some cases, unique service to our country in uniform and at the CIA.
Meantime, the president-elect's use of Twitter grabbing the attention of Saturday Night Live.
Kellyanne, I just retweeted the best tweet. I mean, wow, what a great, smart tweet.
We're in a security briefing.
I know, but this could not wait.
Trump slamming the show as unwatchable, totally biased, not funny, and the Baldwin impersonation just can't get any worse. Sad, and blasting the media on Twitter today, saying, quote, "If the press would cover me accurately and honorably, I would have far less reason to tweet." Mike Pence defending another Trump tweet in which he claimed that millions of illegal votes were cast in the presidential election.
It's his right to express his opinion as the president-elect of the United States. I think one of the things that's refreshing about our president-elect.
Okay, and there you go on that report. And on this day, it was on this date, 75 years ago, the devastating Pearl Harbor attack that killed more than 2,400. Today is Pearl Harbor Day. And that does it for the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all have a great rest of your day. Goodbye, everyone.